Yes, it's true what they say. It's better the devil you know. Yeah, it is better the devil you know. If that band's called The Devil You Know, featuring former Killswitch Engage vocalist Howard Jones. Hi, my name's Rory Bentley, and I'm going to be reviewing the new Devil You Know album, They Bleed Red. So, Devil You Know, band that rocked upon the scene about 2 years ago with their debut album, The Beauty of Destruction, and really churned out some solid, metallic, kind of hardcore, modern, sheeny, roadrunnery, sub-trivium-y metal. And I thought it was alright. That's as much as I've got to say on it, really. But yeah, I thought it was a good album. It was really good to hear Howard Jones singing again, because after he left Killswitch Engage, I hoped it wouldn't be the case, but I thought that might be the last we ever hear of him. But no, he is back, and you know, on the vocal form of his life. So I was hoping at the very least that would be something that carried forward onto this new album. Like I say, the first album was solid, you know, good but not great. Something that if I was 15, I'd be fucking jazzed about it, because it's a really passionate, well-delivered, well-executed heavy metal album. But that's as nice as I can really be about it, really. There's not a lot wrong with it, but there's just not anything massively exciting about it. It was pretty much like a Big Mac, you know. Big Mac, yeah, nice, alright, brilliant. Did you enjoy Big Mac? Yeah, I thought it was nice, yeah. Was it as good as that time you went to Marco Pierre White's restaurant? No, it wasn't really, no. But, you know, that's not what I went there for. So, yeah, solid meat and potatoes album. And, you know, I thought, well, the next album's really probably going to dictate to me whether that was just them establishing who they were, getting into gear, feeling each other out and writing songs together. The second album, you know, maybe is going to tell me a bit more about who this band's going to be. And if anything, they've upgraded from a Big Mac, but it's now a Big Tasty meal. So, you know, how was your Big Tasty? Oh, it was fucking nice. Yeah, loved it. Brilliant. Was it as good as you went to Marco Pierre White's restaurant? No, it wasn't. But, you know, again, I didn't go there for that. I went there for something that was better than the Big Mac, but wasn't going to take the piss in terms of my time, attention, and money. So, yeah, the second album, They Bleed Red, is definitely an improvement and a step up from The Beauty of Destruction. But it is, in a lot of ways, more of the same. Certainly not a difficult second album, which is a real cliche in the rock and roll world. But no, not a difficult second album. I would say a nice progression. Not really a giant leap, though, got to tell you. So, you know, it opens up strong, as the last one did, really, with Consume the Damned, which is a real ripping, heads down, hardcore banger of a song. Howard really sounds like, you know, he's got the bit between his teeth, he's got fire under him, he's got passion, he's got some bile or some venom there, and it's really good to hear that, because he was sounding very jaded towards the end of the Killswitch Engage days. So to hear him actually delivering metal, and delivering metal well, like only he can, is really uplifting. Then we get to the single, The Way We Die, which is a real solid, banging single with a great, great chorus. Your Last Breath, again, is just a really good, brilliant, solid song. Not as good as the previous two. And then we get to Stay of Execution, which is one of my personal favourites on there. So that one you might have heard before the album came out. It's got a real swing, a real groove to it. And it picks up the pace a lot. A lot of these songs are kind of mid-paced metal stompers, but when they go really fast, Devil You Know, that's where they kind of put themselves a bit apart from the pack, because they've got that ability to escalate the speed, because they've got a wonderful extreme metal drummer like John Sankey on there. A lot of these musicians are coming from more extreme backgrounds, and they're writing an almost hard rock kind of record, and that's something that I really do commend. The fact that these disparate influences, you know, rather than being really kind of snobby and saying, oh no, that's not for us, they thought, you know what, we could write a really cool mainstream metal record. And that's what they have, really. So there's some really kind of, as I say, there's some great moments on here, and there's just some good moments on there. There's nothing that's really going to absolutely massively blow you away, apart from a few moments, but it never really dips below good. Which is a real compliment to it, I think. So, you know, stuff like Break the Ties is a real solid one. Shattered Silence is an absolute ripper of a song. Something where, you know, the riff just absolutely smash you in the fucking face. The pace picks up. Howard's like screaming his balls off, and it's a really good, like, well executed song. And this super slick type production, which can be an acquired taste these days. I know a lot of people say there's a lot of metal albums that are overproduced. I think it really suits this band because they are really kind of solid musicians, and the crispness really just accentuates what great players they actually are. It's not there as a crutch to actually paper over some cracks. It's more there to actually highlight and clarify the proficiency of the playing here. So yeah, great song. And then there's a nice dip in pace in Let the Pain Take Hold. I say dip. Dip implies it's a negative thing. There's a nice change of pace where the tempo does slow down and it's more of a power ballad. And all throughout here, what really elevates this album above so many bands that do sound a little bit like this, that do the same kind of thing within the same ballpark, is the vocals. Howard Jones is just a fucking remarkable, phenomenal singer. He's a natural singer as well. There's flaws in his voice. You know, he's not necessarily like the top end kind of singer, but he's just a natural singer. He's got a voice that can't be replicated, and you know, he's somebody that, yeah, I mean, you can see the influence and see the similarities between, I don't know, like Mike Patton and Daryl Palumbo from Glassjaw, but at the same time, he's got a style that's very much of its own. It's very soulful, it's very melancholic, and it's very, very powerful. And, you know, it really kind of elevates this album from being a solid album to a really good album. And it's, like I say, it's not going to set your world on fire. And in a year where we've had so many remarkable releases, so many albums that have came out, and EPs and releases from bands that have really raised the bar, then you know, it's not going to be lingering particularly high on anyone's kind of end of year list. But at the same time, I don't think that should put you off giving it a spin, because sometimes, like I say, you don't necessarily just want, you know, Baroness. I'm really looking forward to the new Baroness album. You know, I can't wait for it. But that's something that really, you know, asks a lot of the listener. And it's good to be challenged by music. And it's good to actually be taken into unfamiliar, uncomfortable territories. But sometimes you just want a real satisfying hit. And that's what this album's going to do. Like I say, it's not going to change your life. But you know what? It's going to change your mood and make you feel a lot happier for the time you're actually listening to it. I wanted it to be better. But I think maybe it's going to be a gradual progression for these guys. So maybe when we get to the third album, it's going to blow me away. And I really hope that's the case. Hopefully they're going to follow a similar trajectory to Devil Driver. I know they've kind of petered out, but you know, Devil Driver, once they got to like Pray for Villains, you know, they really became a fucking fantastic metal band. Really accessible, heavy, but really accessible, solid crossover metal band. And that's where I see these guys going. And like I say, it's really great to hear Howard just singing again. And you can go a lot worse than this particular album. So, yeah, Devil You Know, They Bleed Red. Check it out. I'll be back for some more, I suppose, avant-garde. Not really avant-garde. Probably did Monster Magnet, so it's not really avant-garde. But I'm going to be, you know, back for some more niche reviews very soon. But in the meantime, have a lovely day. Have a lovely Monday. And check out The Devil You Know. And subscribe. Come on. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe. Even if you want to like dislike me or like say, oh, I don't like what you said about my dying bride. You're a bellend. You're completely wrong. Tell me I'm a bellend. It's alright. We should have an open relationship. I don't mean we sleep with other people. I just mean we should be open and honest with each other. Okay? Alright, good to hear. Okay, well, I'll see you later. And, yeah. Still need to really work on those conclusions, don't I? Are you still here? This is really awkward. I'm just going to... Yeah, okay. Okay, thanks.